Hey YouTube, this is PrimetimePokemon. In this video, I'll be reviewing and then giving away the Relentless Flame theme deck. This is one of two theme decks from the brand new expansion Team Up. This is a fire type deck based around Charizard. The other theme deck from Team Up is based around Blastoise. It is a water type deck called Torrential Cannon. So a majority of this video, I'll be reviewing the theme deck. At the end of the video and then in the description of this video, I'll state the rules to entry for this giveaway to win the theme deck. Before I get into the review, you can see on the back of the box, it says, Flames dance and fires roar. Fire it up with the relentless flames of Charizard. This deck burns super hot, so keep feeding Charizard enough fire energy to create an unstoppable, continuous blaze ball. Burn bright and burn true with the Relentless Flame theme deck. And then inside the box, you can see everything that you'll get if you win the giveaway, the 60 Pokemon card deck, the card checklist, the metallic coin, 2-player playmat and rule sheet, the online TCG code card, deck box, quick guide, and damage counters. So the deck is all opened up. Here's a look at the deck box that can hold the 60 cards. Pretty cool looking. This is easily the best Charizard in the TCG in quite some time. 2 total Charizard cards in the theme deck. Here's a look at the special holofoil. Charizard is also the pre-release promo for Team Up. Normally, Charizard is a rare non-holo. The online TCG code card, which unlocks this deck for the online game. The Pokemon coin. Of course, Charizard is my favorite Pokemon of all time. Here's a look at the card checklist as well as the quick guide, the 2-player playmat, and then the damage counters, burn and poison marker, and GX marker. Now, before I get into actually going through each and every card in this theme deck, the general strategy with this deck is to use Charizard as the primary attacker. You can quickly accelerate energy onto Charizard with its ability and then do major damage with its attack. You can also use Nidoqueen in this deck to get evolution Pokemon set up. Farfetch'd is a pretty good starter for the theme deck, allowing you to draw cards into your hand. Also, it can do major damage. Here's a look at the deck checklist. As you can see, this list is broken up: 22 Pokemon, 18 trainers, and 20 energy. Usually in more competitive decks, you're going to have way more trainer cards than you do Pokemon and energy. But overall, this theme deck is very good when it comes to the trainer cards. It is almost worth it to purchase this theme deck for the Cynthia trainers plus the Charizard. I do like the fact that there's 2 copies of each of the trainer cards. That way the deck is more consistent. Now on to the review portion of this theme deck review and giveaway. Start with the Pokemon. 22 total Pokemon in the deck. First up would be a 3-2-2 line of Charmander, Charmeleon, and Charizard. First up, 3 copies of this Charmander. An HP of 70, which is above average. Only 1 move Ember that does 30 damage for 1 fire energy card. However, you must discard an energy from this Pokemon. I do like the fact that Ember does hit every time. It isn't based off of a coin flip. So essentially you can knock out a Pokemon in 2 attacks with Ember if you start with Charmander in the active Pokemon spot. Next up would be Charmeleon. 2 copies of this card, an average HP of 90. 1 attack, Fire Fang. For 2 fire energy, it does 30 damage and it burns the defending Pokemon, which I believe does an additional 20 damage, and then your opponent must flip a coin between turns to try and remove the burn. Otherwise, it will continue to do that amount of damage every single turn. And finally, Charizard, the featured Pokemon in this deck. Just a cool looking card. Overall, a stage 2 Pokemon, 150 for the HP, an ability, and 1 move. Its ability, Roaring Resolve, says, once during your turn, you may put 2 damage counters on this Pokemon. If you do, search your deck for up to 2 fire energy cards and attach them to this Pokemon. Then shuffle your deck. And then Continuous Blaze Ball, for 2 fire energy, does 30 damage plus discard all fire energy from this Pokemon. This attack does 50 more damage for each card you discarded in this way. So if you're able to attach a fire energy from your hand and then use its ability, that would be 180 total damage with continuous Blaze Ball every single turn. Add a choice band to it, that's 210 damage. That knocks out something like Zoroark GX. So this is a very powerful attacker. The only downside is that Charizard, of course, is a stage 2, so it will be a little bit slower to set up. You could always modify this theme deck and add something like Rare Candy or Alolan Ninetales GX to use its ability to go and get some rare candy. But that is the main attacking line in the deck. Next up would be a 3-2 line of Ponyta and Rapidash. Just like Charmander, a good HP of 70, 2 moves, Live Coal and Stomp. Live Coal does 10 damage for 1 fire energy, and then Stomp does 10 damage plus 30 more damage if you get a heads when you flip a coin for 2 fire energy. So not as good of an attacker as Charmander. Let's see what Rapidash looks like. I do like the fact that it has 70 HP like I mentioned. Rapidash an HP of 100, so above average. 2 moves. And I do like the fact that both Ponyta and Rapidash have low retreat costs. Searing Flame does 20 damage for 1 fire energy, plus it burns the defending Pokemon. I like that trend, inflicting special conditions. And then Agility for 2 fire energy does 60 damage, plus if you get a heads when flipping a coin, prevent all effects of attacks, including damage, done to this Pokemon during your opponent's next turn. So if your opponent doesn't have something like Counter Catcher or Guzma in their hand, Agility is a great defensive type of move, especially if you are attacking a basic Pokemon like a Zorua, for example, or an Alolan Vulpix. You can knock it out with Agility. On to the Psychic type Pokemon line. So only 2 different lines of Fire type Pokemon in this deck, 1 line of Psychic type, and then 1 colorless line. So there is a 3-2-2 line of Nidoran, Nidorina, and Nidoqueen. Again, a line that is based on a stage 2. Nidoran here, 60 HP, 2 attacks. Call for Family and Scratch. Call for Family is pretty good. It says search your deck for a basic Pokemon and put it onto your bench, then shuffle your deck. So if you do start the game with either Nidoran or Farfetch'd in the active Pokemon spot, you have some options on getting the state of your board up to date and ready to go to start attacking. And then Scratch for 2 colorless energy does 20 damage. You're more than likely going to want to use Nidoran for Call for Family or just to evolve it into the stage 1 evolution of Nidorina. 90 HP here, a little bit higher retreat cost, 2 moves. Family Rescue for 1 colorless energy says to shuffle 5 psychic Pokemon from your discard pile into your deck. That really doesn't do anything in this deck. And then Bite for 2 colorless energy does 30 damage. So Nidoran's not bad. Nidorina not the greatest in this deck. Nidoqueen, on the other hand, is pretty good. 2 copies of this card. Higher HP than Charizard of 160. Once during your turn, you may search your deck for a Pokemon that isn't a Pokemon GX or EX, reveal it, and put it into your hand. Then shuffle your deck. And because both the Nidoran and Charmander lines are based on Stage 2, Queen's Call is a great way to ensure that you're evolving your Pokemon each and every turn. And then Power Lariat plays off the fact that there are lots of evolution Pokemon in this deck. For 3 colorless energy, it does 10 damage, plus 50 more damage for each evolution Pokemon on your bench. So potentially this could do 260 damage, 290 with a choice band. You could start knocking out Tag Team GX in 1 attack. The last Pokemon in this theme deck would be Farfetch'd. 3 copies of this card, 80 HP, 2 moves, Collect and Tool Buster. Collect allows you to draw 2 cards for a colorless energy, and then Tool Buster for 1 colorless energy does 20 damage, plus, before doing damage, discard all Pokemon Tool cards from your opponent's active Pokemon. If you discarded a Tool card in this way, this attack does 70 more damage. So for only 1 energy card, being able to do 90 damage is pretty good, but early on in the game, Collect is a great way to get more cards into your hand and potentially get your Pokemon set up. So there's a look at the 22 total Pokemon cards in this theme deck. Overall, I do like Charizard and Nidoqueen very well. Again, the strategy with this deck is to attack with Charizard, but it is going to be a little slower to set up. So it's going to take probably 2 or 3 turns until you can start attacking with Charizard. You definitely want to utilize the ability on Nidoqueen. Again, if you want to modify this deck at all, try and include something like Rare Candy. That way you can skip over the Stage 1 evolution in both the Charizard and Nidoqueen line. On to the trainer cards now, and between the 2 theme decks from Team Up, the trainer cards are identical. 18 total, 12 supporters, and 6 item cards. I'll show the supporters first. 6 different supporter cards, 2 copies of each. First up would be Brock's Grit. This is from Team Up. This is very good in combination with Charizard. Shuffle 6 in any combination of Pokemon and basic energy cards from your discard pile into your deck. Of course, with Charizard, Continuous Blaze Ball, you're discarding energy, and then you can go and get energy from your deck with its abilities. So this is a great supporter with Charizard, like I mentioned. Something a little bit better may be something like Energy Recycler, just because it is an item card instead of a supporter. 2 copies of Copycat. Shuffle your hand into your deck, then draw a card for each card in your opponent's hand. Potentially turn 1, your opponent may use Lily, getting 8 total cards into their hand. Then during your turn, you can use Copycat, shuffle your cards into your deck, and get 8 new cards. Cynthia, 2 copies of this card. This is one of the best supporters out there. Like I mentioned in the open, it is almost a better value to buy this theme deck just for Cynthia than to go out and buy 2 Cynthias on an online website. So shuffle your hand into your deck, then draw 6 cards. How would be next. This allows you to draw 3 cards. I like this just because you're not restricted on drawing a certain number of cards like Lily, for example. It's just draw 3 additional cards. Pokemon Fan Club would be next. Search your deck for up to 2 basic Pokemon, reveal them and put them into your hand, then shuffle your deck. Professor Elm's Lecture is very popular right now. This supporter would work better just because a lot of the basic Pokemon in this deck have an HP above 60. And then the final supporter, another good supporter, would be Professor Kukui. It allows you to draw 2 cards, then your Pokemon's attacks do 20 more damage to your opponent's active Pokemon during that turn. So if you know you're going to attack that same turn, Professor Kukui is the best supporter to use, especially if that additional 20 damage will knock out the defending Pokemon. Professor Kukui is used with Zoroark GX quite often to get the 180 damage that will knock out a lot of GX out there. You use Choice Band and Devoured Field in combination with that Professor Kukui. On to the item cards now. 6 total, 2 copies of each of these. Nest Ball would be first. Search your deck for a basic Pokemon and put it onto your bench. Then shuffle your deck. So very similar to the Pokemon Fan Club, except for this is an item and you can use more than 1 item card in a turn. Switch, a great way to retreat a Pokemon for free. It just says switch your active Pokemon with one of your bench Pokemon. So if you do start the game with Nidoran in the active Pokemon spot, for example, end up evolving it into Nidoqueen, instead of having to attach 3 energy to it to retreat, you can retreat it for free with Switch. And then the final trainer here would be Timer Ball. Flip 2 coins. For each head, search your deck for an evolution Pokemon, reveal it, and put it into your hand. Then shuffle your deck. So this is really a hit or miss card. If you get 2 heads when flipping 2 coins, that is great. But if you end up getting 2 tails, it is a wasted card. Something like Ultra Ball may be a little bit better, even a Mysterious Treasure, to go and get a Psychic type Pokemon. But in an evolution heavy deck like this one, Timer Ball is a good trainer to include. So there's a look at the trainer cards. I really like the fact, like I mentioned, that there's 2 copies of each of these, and they are very good overall. Final card I'll show here would be the Energy. 20 total Fire Energy, and you are going to have to use several Fire Energy just because of Charizard's attack, where you have to discard probably 3 energy each and every turn. So there's a look at all the cards from the Relentless Flame theme deck. Overall, I think this is an above average theme deck. I would give it a 4 out of 5 rating. I would put it just below the 2 theme decks from Ultra Prism. Those 2 theme decks are the best ones out there, in my opinion. I really do like the fact that Charizard can do major damage, and then the more evolution Pokemon you have in play, the more damage that Nidoqueen can do when attacking. So now on to the giveaway portion of this theme deck review and giveaway video. All you have to do to be eligible to win this theme deck is you have to subscribe to my YouTube channel, like this video, and then in the comment section of this video, state that you'd like to enter the giveaway, and let me know which Stage 2 starter from the Kanto region is your favorite. Charizard, Blastoise, or Venusaur. Once you've done all of those things, you are successfully entered into this giveaway. At the end of February, February 28th, I'll use a random number generator on the comment section of this video to randomly select a winner. And then I will be emailing the winners. So just make sure to have your contact information updated on your YouTube channel. So that concludes this video. Thanks everyone for watching. As always, before you go, make sure to check out all the links in the description of this video, including links to my blog, Facebook, and Twitter pages. So good luck to everyone who enters, and stay tuned for more videos. Thank you.